Hey everyone, it's MrJordilicious again, and I'm back here with another quick stream tip video. Now recently on my stream I introduced a new way for my viewers to reward me with something special. Now you all might know how much I love getting achievements in games. I wanna take a picture of the car we just destroyed because I think it might be an achievement. But sometimes they are pretty hard to get and they're not always around in every single game. But now I gave my viewers a way to give me my very own personalized achievements on stream by using channel points.
Good evening everyone, good evening and good time zone. How is everyone doing today? Look at that! We got our first ever achievement unlocked on stream. It is Friday!
However, if you're not really that much into achievements but you're more into puppies, I also gave my subscribers a way to unlock puppy cam, or if you got enough channel points you can unlock it as well.
Puppy cam, oh no, the puppy cam is empty. I mean, I can also be here. But I'm not sure if that's what you want to see.
Wanna know how I did that? Stick around and I'm gonna show you exactly what I did by using a tool called Lioranboard. Now as always, if you like this kind of video, please consider leaving a thumbs up, subscribing to the channel and ringing the bell so you get a notification whenever a new video is going live on the channel. Now this video is probably gonna be a longer one, so I'd say make yourselves comfortable, get something to drink, and let's roll the intro. If you want to catch me live and you want to see or use these effects for yourself, you can find me on Twitch every Monday, Wednesday and Friday. I stream over there. You can find the link in the description down below. Alright, so as mentioned before, in order to connect our Twitch channel points to effects like these in OBS, we're going to be using a tool called Lioranboard. And basically what this tool does is it listens to Twitch events for things like bits, subs, gifted subs, but also channel points. And then it uses this information to trigger things in OBS. Now in order for this to work, we need a separate plugin for our OBS installation called WebSocket Remote Control. You can find the link to download that as well in the description down below. And if you don't know how to install plugins, I've made a nifty video about that, which you can find in the pop-up that should be over there on your screen. Now seeing as we can't use any custom plugins in Streamlabs OBS, I'm sorry to say, but this video is not going to be for any Streamlabs OBS users. If you want to use this tool, however, and you want to use this method, I'd suggest basically just switching to regular OBS. After you've downloaded the WebSocket plugin and installed it in OBS, we're gonna have to download the main app of this video called Lioranboard. Again, links are in the description down below. Now what makes Lioranboard a pretty versatile app is that it can also serve as a free alternative to a Stream Deck. So if you don't own a Stream Deck already, this video and this tool might even be more useful for you. The only downside is that you need an Android phone or tablet for it to work, or you need to keep it open on your PC at all times. Now this video is not going to cover the Stream Deck portion of the tool, but if you do want to see a video on that, please let me know in a comment down below, and who knows, I might make a video about it in the future. Dang, I guess I should also get an Android phone to test it then. Now when you download the Lioranboard app, you get a zip file that you can then extract on your PC. When you do that, you get several files and several folders. And the first of these folders is the most important one, as that's going to be the receiver, which is going to cover the main portion of this video. The other two folders are for the Stream Deck portion of the app that I just mentioned. However, like I said before, we're not going to be using those. Now let's go into the receiver folder and open the exe file that you find in there. When you do this for the very first time, you get presented with a nifty tutorial that's going to help you set most of the things up. The first thing that we have to set up is the OBS WebSocket. Remember that plugin that we installed earlier? This is where we're going to use that. Most likely, if you didn't make any changes to that plugin installation, you don't have to make a lot of changes in these settings. Most likely you can leave some of these settings to default, but if you're not completely sure, you can go into OBS, go to the tools menu and then the WebSocket remote server. There you can find the information that you need to enter in the Lioranboard app. Back in Lioranboard, you're going to want to check the next two checkboxes: auto connect to OBS WS and auto connect to Twitch. This is going to save you the hassle of every time manually connecting to OBS and to Twitch. The non-blocking connection checkbox you can just leave unchecked. Then lastly, the frames per second one, this is also an important one to fill in. Most likely this is going to be set to either 30 or 60 FPS, but if you're not completely sure, you can check your FPS settings in OBS by going to the settings menu, then selecting video, and there you will find the frames per second that you have selected for your stream. Next up, you want to go ahead and click on the Connect to Twitch button. It's going to open up this window where you can get a URL. Copy that and paste it into your browser. On this page, you can authorize the Lioranboard app to connect to Twitch. Basically, this allows Lioranboard to listen to the Twitch triggers that we mentioned earlier. So go ahead, scroll down on the page and click authorize, and if things go well, you should get a message saying that things are connected correctly. Now you probably feel very inclined to click on the Connect to Twitch button, and I feel you, I would probably do the same. However, once you do that, the app is going to give you this error, saying that you need to connect your TSL transmitter. Now I have no idea what a TSL transmitter does, but I do know how you can connect it. So let me show you. Back in the Lioranboard folders you also saw an HTML file called TSL transmitter. All you have to do is go into OBS and link to this file by making a browser source. Now we're not going to show it or use it ever on your stream, so it just needs to be there. So go ahead, find the scene that you never really use and just paste it in there. Make sure that the source is set as hidden and you don't have to think about it ever again. Now when you've done all that and OBS is open, you should see the 3 buttons in Lioranboard all grayed out. If that's the case, well done. Good job, the hardest part is now over. We can move on to the fun things. Okay, so let's move on to the fun stuff, because now we can finally actually make some integration. And you've probably already seen these boards up on the main screen of Lioranboard. But seeing as we are pretty cool and we know our way around, we don't need any hand holding, we're just gonna start from scratch. So click the add new deck button to create a brand new empty deck. Now you get presented with an empty deck with spaces to add your buttons to. So right click on one of the empty spaces and click create blank button. Now there you can name this button so you know what this button is gonna do in the future. So give it a name and then click OK. Now while I mentioned earlier, this can also serve as a Stream Deck alternative. So all these buttons can get functions like add sound effects or add keyboard macros. But for us, we're going to make something a little bit more interesting. So right click on the button and select add command. Here you can add all the triggers that you want to use. Now for this example, we're going to just do something very simple, namely we're going to switch a scene. So click on the plus icon and there you can see all the options that Lioranboard has. Simple things like switching scenes or muting sources, but also more complex stuff like triggering filters, or even stuff that sounds like you need a rocket science degree in order to understand what they actually do. But trust me, it's a lot more easier than that. For now, we're just gonna select the scene switch. Here we can select the scene that we want to switch to. So let's say you are just here on your stream enjoying a game, but you're still in your intermission screen and you have no idea that you're on there. Instead of your chat shouting at you and yelling that you need to switch a scene, we're gonna actually allow them to do it for you. So now we've set up the command, but it's not actually gonna do anything, it just sits there. In order for our viewers to actually trigger it, we need to add a trigger to it. So go back and right click on your button again, and this time select add Twitch trigger. Click on the plus sign and again you see all the options that Twitch has, like bits, subs, gifted subs, but also point redemptions and even extension triggers. For this example, we're gonna go with chat message. So click on the plus sign and select chat message. Here again, you can see all the options for people that can trigger this. Now keep in mind that these options are absolute. So if you were to select both mods and subs in one trigger, the tool is gonna listen to people who are both subscribed to your channel and are a moderator. Instead, you wanna make 2 separate triggers in this window, one for mods and one for subs. This way, people that are subscribed to your channel can trigger it, but also people that are moderator. And of course, even people that are both. So let's go ahead and first make the sub trigger, and we're gonna make it listen to !game scene. After that, we're gonna do the exact same thing, but this time we're gonna make it for our moderators. Now both our subs and our moderators can change the scene to the game scene from whatever scene we've started in. Lastly, you wanna make sure that the checkbox with add to request queue is ticked. What this does is basically, imagine that multiple people wanna trigger an effect on your stream. Instead of it breaking off and starting midway again, this tick box makes sure that all the effects are stacked up and queued one after another. So you can have multiple people trigger an effect and just plays out the first one and then it moves on to the second effect. Now be sure to click done in this window and also click done again in your new deck, otherwise nothing will be saved. Now if you want to try this out for yourself, you might want to add another trigger for you as broadcaster or boardcaster, so you can try it out while you're not live. Now obviously this is a very simple and very basic example that might not really work out for you in reality, unless you trust your subs to never troll with you on stream. So instead, let's look at something a little bit more complex, like my achievement unlocked effect. For this, the first thing that I did was actually create the animation for the achievement. Now if you want to use the exact same animation, you can download it for free on my blog, which is again linked in the description down below. Then I just put the animation into a new scene in OBS. I've added a text TDI plus source as well, and of course I added a source for the achievement sound effect. Make sure that you position the animation where you want it to be on your screen, and that you position the text TDI plus source on top of that. Also, you want to make sure that the text TDI plus source has a set width and height, otherwise it's going to go over your animation. And also for both the animation and the sound effect, you want to make sure that the restart playback when source becomes active checkbox is ticked in the properties of both of them. Lastly, when everything is positioned well and you're happy with the way things look, you can add this scene as a nested scene to all the scenes where you want this effect to be able to be triggered. That's a lot of scenes in one sentence. Now in Twitch, you want to set up a new channel point redemption, give it the amount of points that people need to redeem in order to trigger it, and make sure that people need to enter text when they redeem it. Next, in Lioranboard, you want to make a new button and add the following commands to it. Now, I'm not going to go over every command individually, but in short, what this does is it uses the math trigger pool to get the message that people entered with their channel point redemption, and then add that message to the text TDI plus source that we just created. After that, it basically makes the achievement, animation, and sound effect active, and after exactly 1.75 seconds, it also makes the text TDI plus source active and visible. After the amount of time that we set in Lioranboard, it makes all sources inactive again, ready for the next person to trigger it. Lastly, we need to add a Twitch trigger. For this one, I chose channel point redemption with message. In the first box, you need to enter the name of the point redemption that you just created. Make sure that you copy this name exactly as you entered it on Twitch, otherwise it's not going to work. In the message field, you don't need to change anything, just leave the star in there as it is. Then you click done and done again to save everything, and then you can go ahead and redeem your channel point on your Twitch dashboard, and you should see everything play out in OBS. And there you have it. That's how you can let your viewers control your stream with the app called Lioranboard. Now, of course, we've only scratched the surface of all the things that you are capable of doing with this app. So if you come up with your own creative ideas with this app, I'd love to see them. So please feel free to join our Discord and share them in our showcase channel. Now, as always, if this video was helpful to you, please consider supporting the channel by leaving a thumbs up, subscribing to the channel and ringing the bell so you get a notification whenever a new video is being put up. And if you have any questions about this video, you can always find me on Twitch. I stream there every Monday, Wednesday and Friday, so you can always catch me over there. Or if you want, you can also message me over on Twitter, or join my Discord, and I will always try and see if I can help you over there. For now, all that is left for me to say is that my name is MrJordilicious. You are all extremely delicious as well. Thank you for watching, good luck with this, and I'll hopefully see you again in the next video.
So the text that you guys add should pop up after 1 second, well, 1.4 seconds basically, so 1 second and 40 milliseconds, I guess that is. Yay! I pooped! Clap, 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 clap. I mean, I didn't just now, chat. Just want to point that out there. I didn't just now poop. Well, you can now give me an achievement for pooping. How awesome is that?